Alright guys, so this is Windows 11 running on real hardware. Did some googling of ways to prove that it's not a virtual machine, because I know there's plenty of people that are faking, saying that they've got it running on real hardware when they indeed do not. So as you can see here, server fault, this answer says, if it's Windows, just have a look at the hardware screens. It'll have a billion and five VMware branded virtual devices. So we're going to look at the hardware screens. Also, someone else asked how to check if it's a physical or virtual machine. Check the system tray, look for some VMware tools. As you can see, there's none of those there. Check in the control panel for the add remove programs. So let's go and check that. Add remove programs. So there is no virtual machine tools here. We can also go to, I guess, the old page. Here we go. Again, nothing here for a virtual machine. System information, again, we're going to see that there's, on a virtual machine, you're going to see things like VMware and virtual platform and stuff when you run the MS Info 32. So let's go ahead and run that. Alright, and we can see here that we're not seeing those VMware texts, because this is my actual computer. So here we've got our my motherboard and whatnot. So we can see here that it is indeed a real PC with running on physical hardware, not a virtual machine. If we look through here, you can also see that the drivers for all the different devices are real drivers. They're nothing to do with a virtual machine. So this is indeed running on real hardware. We're also going to jump into a game a bit later on and just see how it runs. I haven't yet tried it. I've downloaded Star Citizen. It's the only game I've downloaded so far just to test this out. So let's just go ahead and let's have a look at Windows 10. Windows 11. So this is the desktop. So we have our start menu has now been moved to the center of the screen. Start menu pop-up. We've got no live tiles anymore. We've just got some basic icons. We can scroll up and down. So these can be pinned and unpinned. Looks like you can move to the top. Can you move them? Okay, you can move them wherever you want, but yes, you can also just right click and move it straight to the top. We can go to the all apps, which is similar to what we had in Windows 10. We've also got recommended apps, which I guess is based on what you've recently used and whatnot. We've also got our power button down here. I haven't seen anybody else point this out, but I did find that if we go into our settings, we can actually add some more buttons down here, which I thought was pretty neat. So if we go in to the start settings, here, choose which folders appear on start. So if we click on this, we've got a whole bunch of different options like you had in Windows 10, but they start as all off in Windows 11, which I thought was odd. But it's nice to see that you can turn them on, and they do fit in very nicely. So if I turn on Documents, Downloads, File Explorer, and Network, we're going to see those nice new icons appear down here. So I think that is it's a pretty nice UI there. Quite happy to see that that is an available option. Also, this is the File Explorer. Not much has changed in the File Explorer from the apart from the obvious of the new icons that do look a lot nicer. They look shinier. Yeah, I do like the new icons. We still don't have tabbed File Explorer, which is something I would have loved to have seen. Again, all we can do is open in a new window. I do look forward to the day that they can actually add tabs to the File Explorer. I think it has been a sorely missing feature for a very, very long time. So nothing over the top new here. We've got all your same options. This is essentially unchanged. Apart from the fact that they've all taken the new UI styling. So we've got nice rounded edges. We've got shadows behind the windows. So it does look a lot nicer, in my opinion, than what we had in Windows 10, which looked very bland. Get help goes straight to the Microsoft Bing. Alright, so let's have a look at some of... so your taskbar only has one right-click option, but I think what others have failed to mention is if you right-click on the Start button, you do have additional options. But the taskbar itself only gives you one option now. Also, if you right-click over on this, you get over on the clock, you get some more options here. So I think they've just tried to clean up. Depending on where you right-click, you're going to get the relevant options instead of having it all in the one menu. So I don't think that's too bad. Our notification screen looks essentially the same. Again, we've got our nice rounded edges now, which I do think, again, looks much nicer. Now, I've found that these are all customizable. I don't know if they were in the Windows 10, but they definitely are here. So we can edit them, move them around, remove them entirely if we don't want them. So let's say I don't want the location because I don't have location on this computer, so we can just remove those just by clicking that, or we can add them back in. So hit done on that. This keeps on appearing. It keeps on failing to install some feature. Obviously it's trying to get it from the server, and it's failing to retrieve it, obviously because this version of Windows has not yet been released. This is something interesting here. Enables Internet Explorer mode functionality in Microsoft Edge. Okay, so that comes by default. So that is in our new Edge browser. We do have an Internet Explorer mode by the look of it. Now, I did notice that when I opened up the Microsoft Store, it actually wanted to update a whole lot of applications. So I don't know if they're going to update to a Windows 11 variant or back to a Windows 10 variant if they're different currently. But let's have a look. If we're going to downloads and updates, it does say it wants to update a whole bunch of apps. While that's loading, I'll also just show that Microsoft has still not removed Paint. So we still have Paint by default installed. No need to go to the store to download it. However, they have removed the new 3D Paint, but there are still references to it, such as, okay, so it's actually done all these updates just today. It's oh no, here we go. So here we go. It wants to update a whole bunch of things. So this could be interesting. Let's go into... Okay, so now it's telling me it's installed. So does it want to update or not? Yeah, it does. It does want to update. So let's launch it before we update it. So if we launch this now, what have we got? We've got version 10.2102 13.0. So let's take a screenshot of that. Let's just write down that number. Hold on one moment. And then I want to see if we run an update, if we get a new version or not. So the version currently is 10.2102.13.0. Alright, so I'm just going to save that onto my desktop. Let's go ahead and close out of that and run the update. Let's see if this actually works. No, it doesn't look like it wants to. Notepad, download. It's trying. Okay, so it doesn't look like it's able to get these updates that it thinks it wants. Let's also check the calculator, because I haven't been into that yet. So calculator looks to be exactly the same as it was in Windows 10, which is unfortunate because I think it's horrible. But if we hit about, again, we've got a version 10. which I believe is what you get in Windows 10. I also found that if we send feedback on any apps, the feedback app does not let you actually sign in. It says that you need to sign in with your Microsoft AAD account, which I'm not actually sure what that is. But yeah, it says that we're on a tented project. So we're on a top secret project, as it were, which has now been leaked out, ironically. Okay, so that doesn't look like it wants to work. Yeah, so 3D Paint is no longer included with Windows 11, but there are references to it. If we open up an image and we hit Edit, it's got Edit with Paint 3D, and then we get an error that it can't find it. So I thought that was interesting that, yeah, it didn't come with it, but it does still reference to it. So let's see if it actually works if we try to download it. Now you'll also notice that I am actually able to use the store. I'm also able to use customizations and whatnot, because this version of Windows 11 is fully activated. As you can see, there's no activation warning here telling me I need to activate. That's simply because I own Windows 10. When I installed Windows 11, I selected that I do not have a product key, and then I signed in using my legitimate Microsoft account, and it has obviously detected that I have a Windows 10 license, and it has allowed it to work for Windows 11. So I would assume that this means that all existing Windows 10 users will get a free upgrade to Windows 11 by the looks of it. If we click on taskbar settings, we can see you do have some options here, but these are normally grayed out if your Windows is not activated. But while we're here, I'll show them off. So we can switch it back to a left-hand side view if you want to do that. I think I've actually gotten used to it being in the center, to be honest with you. We've got our Show Widgets button, which is this button which really stands out. It doesn't really suit the rest of the icons, if you ask me, so we can turn that on and off. The widget button, it's kind of like a return to the widgets they had in Vista, except less functional. So we've got these what they're calling widgets, but really it's just your news page like they added on the last Windows 10 update. They can't stay on your screen. You can't drag them out. You just get some odd link. Where did it go? Let's try. Yeah, here we go. So when you drag it out, you just get this odd link, which I haven't tried to open it to see what it does. Where does it locate? Okay. So it is. Was that the widget that I pulled out? Let's try a different one. Weather. Alright, so let's go Money Market and pull that out. Again, I would expect it to be a widget that would stay on your desktop, like they had in the earlier versions of Windows. I think it was around Vista, but doesn't look like that's working yet. But yeah, so it is taking us directly to those. Now I thought it was interesting to see that they're calling it WinP2 June taskbar. So I thought that was, it's odd that that's what it's coming up. That's the identifier it's using. So what that code name is for, I'm not sure. But yeah, so that's what happens when we drag those out. Let's just turn off those icons again. So the widgets, yeah, I don't see myself using those, to be honest with you. We can unpin them there. We've got the Show Desktop button, which is this one down in the bottom right hand corner. You can turn that on and off. We can, what have we got here? The task view is basically to toggle your multiple desktops, or Alt-Tab view. So we've got multiple desktops, and we've got all of our open applications, which we can also do by hitting Alt-Tab, or by Windows Tab, which also brings up those desktop, multiple desktops. Alright, so let's, did this work? No, it doesn't look like we can install anything from the Microsoft Store, which is very interesting. So although it's connecting to the Microsoft Store, finding updates and whatnot, it's not able to actually action anything. Okay. What else have we got in here? So, some other things we can go through here. Your start menu doesn't have many options anymore. They've removed the show suggested items, which was basically them shoving ads into your start menu. They've removed that entirely now, which is a good change. We got fonts essentially unchanged from Windows 10. However, I am told that the Microsoft font here has been updated. So apparently this font is different to how it looked in Windows 10. Themes. We have some nice new themes that come with Windows 11. So let's switch to the dark theme. There we go. I normally use dark themes all the time. However, I do like the look of their new light theme. But yeah, so this is the new dark theme. It's applied across most areas of the system. I'm sure if we look hard enough, we can still find some places that they haven't applied it. We've got a few more here. That's actually pretty nice as well. I did notice that they have removed in the colors the ability to... Oh no, now it's coming up. This wasn't working earlier. So we can override the taskbar with a solid color if we want to. It also colors these sections as well, just like it did in Windows 10. By default, the windows don't have a border. However, you can turn that on. And again, it just uses the accent color that's selected here. What else have we got here? So we can turn off the transparency effects, which I guess for people that really don't like them, or if you have a low power PC, you may want to disable those. Let's go ahead and switch back to... Let's just go to Windows Dark theme for now. Actually, let's go Windows Light. Alright, so on the Windows Light theme, back to the default, how it installs. Let's go back to our home screen in the settings and take a look what else we can do. So we've got the system. So you can see I'm running this on a 4K TV screen at the moment. Again, proof that this is not running in a virtual machine, because I don't believe that resolution would work in a virtual machine. We do have this new multiple displays option, which I think is awesome. So we can remember window locations based on monitor connection. So basically, if you have multiple monitors and you have your different programs open on different monitors, for example, if you have a laptop, you've got you've got some work stuff on one screen, and then you've got some reference stuff on the other screen, and then you want to unplug, you want to take your laptop with you somewhere, and then when you come back and you plug it back in, you want everything to go back to how it used to be. With this ticked, that should now happen. So as soon as you plug in your second screen, the windows should move back to their original location onto your secondary screen, which I think is just great. I did used to use a third-party tool to do that, so I'm so glad to see that Microsoft have finally built that into the operating system. In your sound, is not really much changed here. You can still select individual inputs and outputs for different applications that Windows detects. Your notification center, you do have, I think you may have a few more options here. Nothing extremely groundbreaking. If we go to focus assist, again, I don't think there's much new there. Power and sleep looks identical. Storage looks about the same. Multitasking, looks like we do have some new options here. One of the really great new options is this: when you hover over to minimize, maximize, you can now snap it to a corner like that. And then it obviously pops up asking what you want on the other corners. Which I think is a neat feature. So this was already available for those that didn't know. It's already been available since Windows 8, where you drag the actual window to a top corner or bottom corner, or into the center side. So it was already the option, but now they've just made it more accessible by hovering over that, and you can click exactly where you want it to go, which it may be helpful to some people. Okay, so what else have we got here? Okay. If we go to the About, we can see that I'm running this on an Intel i5 6600K. It is Windows 11 Pro development version. It was installed today, version 21996.1. You can also see it's not telling me I need to activate Windows because I have indeed see, it says here, activation Windows 11. Windows is activated with a digital license linked to your Microsoft account. So the only license I have is for Windows 10. So I would assume that this means that Windows 10 licenses will continue to be valid for use in Windows 11, which is nice. So it doesn't look like we're going to need to purchase a new copy. Windows Update, I did have a few driver updates that it recommended, which I installed earlier. This one keeps reappearing. It doesn't appear to be working. I've also found that the Windows Insider program, I was able to join the Insider program in this Windows 11 build. However, it refers to Windows 10. I've also selected the dev channel. Again, it's saying Windows 10 everywhere. And even though I've selected the dev channel, it did not appear to offer any new updates when I went to the Windows update and checked for updates. So whether or not that's going to change, I don't know. We've still got our backup. We've still got our reference to the Windows 7 backup and restore. It says Windows 10 here when it should say Windows 11. Yeah, so what else can we have a look at, or should we jump into... Actually, what I'll quickly show is Device Manager. Again, just showing you the physical hardware that this is running on. Again, just to prove that this is indeed not a virtual machine. This is physical hardware that I've installed this on. And if you want to know how to do that, I do have a video on my YouTube showing the process that it takes to actually edit the leaked ISO file to make it work for a clean install on physical hardware like I've done here. So just have a look on my YouTube channel for the Windows 11 how-to. Alright, so I think what we might do is we might jump into trying out a game. So I downloaded Steam. It installed with no problems at all. And I've just downloaded one singular game just to test it out and see how it runs. So if we go to Start Conflict, let's try this out. Alright, now obviously if this was running in any kind of a virtual machine, we would not expect to see decent performance. So just going to log into the Steam account here.
Welcome back, Captain.
Alright, let's check out these graphics options. So we're going to try to run this at 4K. I don't know how well it's going to do. But we'll give it a go. Let's chuck this on high graphics, turn on lens flares. Let's max this all out and see what happens. Like I said, I haven't tried this in Windows 11, and to be honest with you, I am pretty terrible at playing this game, so don't judge my gameplay. We are just testing this out. So let's jump into a skirmish. Average wait time is 40 seconds. Let's hope that's accurate. Oh, okay, it's still going. go. Coming close to that 40-second mark. Trying to figure out if there's a way to turn on an FPS counter so we can see the FPS in game. Oh, here we go. Ah, okay, so FPS is already there. Cool. So it'll be interesting to see how this runs. So again, this is running in a 4K monitor. We've maxed out everything. We're getting 150 odd FPS. So again, definitely not running on a virtual machine. So quite happy with how that's running on a
enemy ship
so
destroyed.
This is what gaming on Windows 11 looks like. It looks good. Haven't had any compatibility problems with anything I've tried to do so far, which admittedly is not a lot, but it is nice to know that straight off the bat with even a unfinished leaked version, everything seems to be working fine. Yeah, so whoop, there we go. Like I said, I'm not good at this game. I really have no idea what I'm doing in this game, but I just wanted to test out, really push it to its limits. So I've put all those graphic settings on full, again running on 4K, and it is running beautifully with averaging over 150 FPS, so definitely happy with that.
Enemy ship destroyed.
I nailed another one.
Warning, incoming missile. Warning, shields down.
Alright, so that's enough of my terrible gameplay. But as we can see, runs beautifully. We've got high FPS, and that's running at 4K, so there we go. Gaming in Windows 11 works flawlessly, at least for that game. Okay, so what else can we explore in here? We've got most things, to be honest with you, are pretty unchanged. We've got our calendar and whatnot, which again looks the same as Windows 10. If we right click on that, what do we got? Adjust, which looks the same as well. I checked, there's no new voices that come with it. I was hoping we might have got an actual nice voice, but still no deal. I'm not sure if Cortana works. I have not tried Cortana yet. Okay, so it needs my personal information. Yeah, sure. Hello, Cortana.
Greetings. Waxing lyrical? Ask me for a poetic quote.
What version of Windows am I running?
I've got this for you. On what version of Windows am I running?
Is this Windows 11?
I'm sorry, but I can't help with that.
Windows 11.
Here's the latest on Windows 11. The first headline from Daily Express is Windows 11 could be free upgrade.
So if you ask me, I think that the Cortana voice sounds a bit more natural. Maybe I'm wrong, but from my memory, it didn't used to sound that natural. It also seems snappier, which I like, obviously. I'm not sure how to get to Cortana quickly anymore, though, as we don't have a Cortana button down here, and it doesn't come up in the search. Cortana stays once you open it. You can maximize it. I wonder if you can pin it down to your taskbar though. What's in the settings? Okay, so we can do a keyboard shortcut. Windows C. Speak or type. Voice activation. Okay, so Cortana needs to be able to access the microphone. I think we've got, I think the app permissions now are more robust by the look of it. It looks like you've got a lot more permissions than we did in Windows 10. So let's test this out. Cortana. Okay, nothing happened there. Cortana. Goodbye.
Okay,
So now if we exit that, let's try it now. Cortana. Cortana. What version of Windows am I running?
I've got this for you. On what version of Windows am I running?
Okay, so Cortana can be accessed by the voice activation or by the control on the keyboard, but you don't have a built-in hotkey for, like a built-in icon for it anymore. Probably can pin it manually. Yeah, it looks like we can pin to taskbar. So there we go. If we really want it there, we can. Though it is, you can't put it next to the search or the start button, as those are not pinned icons. Even though they say unpin, they're not truly pinned apps. So that is a bit different. Alright, so that's done exploring that. Alright, so what else can we go through? Let's have a look at what else do we got? The calendar and mail apps, I think, essentially are the same as what we saw in Windows 10 as well. I'm trying to cover a bunch of areas to show this all off, but like I said earlier, majority of it does seem to be the same as it always was. I think I also found, if we went into, was it, I think it was in Paint. Yeah, so we've still got a mix mash of the context menus. I mean, this context menu down here is nice and large. If we right click here, we've got a nice large one with rounded edges and this very blurred out background. Yet if we go and right click up here, we've got a similar menu but not as spaced out. And then again, if you right click down here, you get a different one again. This one looking like it's from Windows, possibly Windows 7. We still have a mismatch of different styles, which is, to be frank, quite sad to see. Ever since they tried to radically change the style of Windows, we've come across this mismatch of styling all throughout the operating system, which I think it's a sad state to be in. If they were going to change the style direction of Windows, they needed to make sure they did it properly, not with differences showing up all over the place, which has been the case since at least Windows 8, where they really changed the design of Windows and left so very much of it unfinished. I don't know how much more there is to explore. The Xbox app, don't know if it's changed or not, or if it'll even run. We've got the Microsoft Solitaire collection, which looks to be the same, I would say. Yeah, I don't think this has changed. 463102. Does it tell us the version here? Doesn't look like that wants to work. We do have some new icons though. Alright, so it doesn't look like these. Oh, it doesn't look like the Xbox app is working. So they don't give a specific version number by the look of it. No. Alright. So this still doesn't want to work. Let's go update all and see if update all works, perhaps. Okay. So nothing happening there. So in our new Microsoft Edge browser, we've just got more of this nice new context menus, big spacing between, nice icons. We can switch to vertical tabs now and have our tabs down on this side, which means we get a proper title bar back if that's what you want. And then you can just hide those when you don't need them. When you hover over it, they reappear. Switch back. Customize toolbar. This is probably the same as what we have in Windows 10. However, to be honest, I have not looked at this screen in Windows 10, so I can't be sure. Alright. Now you'll also see that in our new start menu or taskbar, the active window has this large line underneath it, whereas your background windows just have a small one. The reason they have a small one when they're a background is so you know if it's a pinned application or if it is actually open in the background. Because obviously if you've got a pinned application, you're still going to see the icon there, but obviously it's got no dot underneath it. So that's why we have those. Now I don't know if you can still display the full names of programs, which I always did on previous versions of Windows. I never liked having the names hidden, though I don't know if we have an option anymore. Maybe if we set it to left. This is taking us to Windows 10 help page, and that's, yes, definitely Windows 10. So this in Windows 10 we had here the automatically hide taskbar in desktop mode and automatically hide in tablet mode. we only have automatically hide in desktop mode now. So I don't know if that means it's always hidden on a tablet or you can't hide it on a tablet. Not sure which way they're going with that, but they've definitely removed that. Also, to lock the taskbar, you can no longer move the taskbar to the other sides of the screen. They've removed that ability. Don't know if anyone used it, but if you did, you are now out of luck. Change the height of the taskbar. Again, can't do that because your taskbar is always locked. So there are a few things that have been removed, which I think is interesting. Also, like I said, the ability to have the names of the programs that are actually running, looks like you don't have that ability anymore, which is not a welcome change in my opinion. Yeah, so not liking that change. However, I guess if that's how it is released, we'll just have to get used to it. So what else do we have here? We have a network screen, which I think is essentially unchanged again. Let's go to our old control panel. So the old control panel is still present. This context menu, very out of place, square. So definitely they haven't matched the style properly there in the old control panel. User accounts, looks like it's using again just the old Windows style from about Windows 7. So it doesn't look like there's been any changes there. So there we go. No, so that's never loaded. So it's saying it needs an update and it's trying to get that update, but at the moment it doesn't look like any updates are downloading from the Windows Store. So why that might be, I'm not sure. Your task manager, other than the nice rounded edges, doesn't look like it's changed. No, so we are sending a fair bit of data. I'm not. Oh, that is this stream, but yeah, we're definitely not receiving any data. So it's definitely not doing anything. This update that it says it needs is definitely not actually happening. So we're going to quit that because it's not working. Again, the task manager, it looks like it has not been updated. We've got the old style context menus, square edges, close together. So again, lack of design, concurrent, yeah, having a memory blank there. So what else have we got to look at? Alright, what else is there? Let's have a look, see if this is okay. So we're getting this needing an update on quite a few things now. I wonder if I can still get into Notepad or if that stopped working as well now. No, Notepad's still working. It's just the more modern apps are detecting that they need an update. Let's have a look at this. Tips coming soon. Let's downvote that. Alright, so they've got they've got no tips yet, but they do have an app that they're working on. So that's interesting. I don't know if this app is present in Windows 10, and if so, if it's actually got tips or not. But it definitely doesn't here. What else have we got? We have the... I think we can type in... Yeah, you can type here to search straight away. Let's go... I'm not sure what else to look at, to be honest with you. So Pixar... Okay, so it doesn't actually come with Windows. They just put a icon there for you. Let's go to all apps. Let's look at the Get Help. Okay. So lots of references to Windows 10 here. Again, reference to Windows 10 2008 copyright. So I don't believe that this app has been changed at all. What else have we got here? The Get Started little wizard. So this is clearly showing a Windows 10 screenshot. So that has not yet been updated, but I think the actual style of the program has been updated. I don't remember it looking like this. So I think they're halfway through updating it, and this looks like they're possibly new. Okay, it's telling me there's an update, but I don't think it's going to actually let me install it. Yeah. Oh, okay. So we've got a antivirus update. So the updates are working. There we go. So I wonder if that screen will still come up. It still thinks there's an update. Alright, let's go next. Again, we're seeing Windows 10 telling us we can go to the Tips app, which we did that, and it's empty at the moment. Okay, and that's it for the little welcome. Also, not all the screens fit properly, which is odd. Yeah, they resize, but they don't resize correctly in some cases. There we go. Alright, so there's that. Is there anything else in here? Get started, Groove Music. Let's see if Groove Music has changed. I don't remember seeing this last time I used it, but I might be wrong. No, it looks pretty similar. Yeah, I think we're still in a Windows 10 version. I don't think it's been updated. I think we'll find all those version numbers will update to 11, whether or not there's any changes when the real release comes out. It's normally what they do. What else have we got here? The snip and sketch tool has not changed. I had a look at this earlier. So it's the same as what it is in Windows 10. Tips and tricks takes us straight online. Settings. Oh, so we do have 11 here, but copyright 2018, which is odd. So there may be some changes there which I'm unaware of. Interesting. Also, you'll notice that although they said it was being superseded, the snipping tool is still present. Yeah, so they've still got that same notice there, but yeah, it's still here. What else have we got here? Sticky notes, they have a new icon at least, and of course it wants to do an update, so that's not working either. Voice recorder wants to do an update. The on-screen keyboard doesn't appear to have been changed. The magnifier. Okay. Let's quit that. Windows security. Okay. Don't think this has been changed either. We do have a reference to Windows 11 here, which is nice, because normally the text says Windows 10 everywhere. If you want to change your privacy settings for your Windows 10 11 device, so they've obviously updated something in here, which is nice. Again, here exploit protection is built into Windows 11, so we have had some work done in here. That's nice. And there we go, says our versions. Alright. What was after that? We have the Windows Terminal. So this is a nice addition. Allows you to run your PowerShell and command prompt and even the Azure Cloud Shell all within one window. So yeah, it's a nice addition for the power users among us. Also notice that the Microsoft command prompt is still showing version 10.0, so I don't believe there's been any changes, and they haven't even updated that version number yet. PowerShell, which I'm not familiar with, so I don't know how to bring up the version information. But yeah, so this is your new PowerShell window, which I've heard there's going to be an ability to dock this to the top of your screen. I'm not seeing any option to do that yet, but I did see someone talk about that. And also the maximize button doesn't give you the options like these ones, which is quite odd. I'm not sure why this program behaves differently, but it does. You can dock them manually, just doesn't come up with those options when you hover over the maximize minimize button. Alright, close all those tabs. Windows tools, what do we got here? Okay, so it's just a shortcut to, oh, this is pretty nice. I don't know if this is present in Windows 10, but I haven't seen it before and I like it. Oh, WordPad, still around, and can't see any major changes anywhere. We do have a nice Windows 11 logo here, version dev, so it looks like it has had at least some changes made to it. Again, we've still got the wrong context menu when we right click in that ribbon. So I don't know if they'll fix that before the proper release. Yeah, so if we jump into the services, have a look, see if there's anything new and interesting that stands out in here. What have we got? Nothing too interesting in here. Everything looks pretty familiar. Yeah, so not a whole lot of changes there by the looks of it. It's this quick assist. Okay. Not sure if that's in Windows 10, but looks like just a quick way of accessing a remote administration session. Okay. Not sure there's much more to go through. The Xbox Games Bar. No return of streaming by the look of it. We can record, but it doesn't look like there's any option to stream. Oh, here we do. We do have a broadcast option. A broadcast hotkey. Let's see if it can connect to the Xbox service. Yeah, it looks like we can. So even though this is, yeah, so even though we're not in the right, even though we're in Windows 11 in a leaked version, it still looks like it can connect correctly. Let's try this stream, see what happens when I click this broadcast button. Alright, so I've just pressed broadcast and nothing's happened. Let's try, okay, so that works. The broadcast key does not. So I don't think that you have the ability to broadcast. I think they removed that in Windows 10 actually. And I think that the Your Phone, I could never get this to work very well, or at all actually in Windows 10. I don't think this is going to work because again, we can't download things from the store. Yeah. Interesting. So I think that about wraps up this little demo of Windows 11 running on native hardware. Again, if you want to know how to do it so you can explore it yourself, just look at my other videos on my channel. You'll see there is a video here. So this video here, Windows 11 on real hardware install how to, not VM/virtual machine. So this one here will run you through the whole process of what you need to do, the modifications that you need to make to... Hey guys, this is Kane here. To the ISO file to actually make it work, so you can install it yourself. Let's jump up to 2 times speed, and I'll just jump through this and just show you. So we download the Windows 10 installer. You download Power ISO, download Rufus, and install them. You also need to download the leaked Windows 11. Create a Windows 11 bootable USB. You get this error when you try to run it, which is what I have gone through and told how to fix. So basically you have to copy some files across from the Windows 10 installation, override them on the USB stick that you made for the Windows 10. That allows you to get past the error. There you go, so we get past the error if we want to do an in-place upgrade, say from Windows 10. However, if you want to do a clean install, it still will fail. You'll still get this PC is not compatible or can't run Windows 11. So I go through the additional steps required to actually edit some more files and fix that as well. So feel free to go watch that video and you'll be able to yourself play with Windows 11 on real hardware. Thanks for watching, guys. If you found this interesting, give me a like or subscribe, and